Merry New Moon. My name is NR Silver Tree, and I welcome you to Silver Tree Seeds Rune Readings. And I also would like to invite you to my second channel. It's called Silver Tree. It's my music channel, and this is just a promotion for that. I invite you to check out my music videos of live performances, recordings, meditation music, experimental, spiritual, energetic, balancing music. So if you're curious, there will be a link below, and let me know what you think. Thank you. Welcome to Silver Tree Seeds. My name is Naja Rashida Silver Tree, and this will be the first rune reading of 2021. I would like to wish you a merry new moon, and know that the new moon portal has opened. Again, it's 3 days before and 3 days after, where there's still a lot of moon energy and that you can work with for your energy practice. So to celebrate the portal opening of this new moon, I would like to share with you a reading focusing on the earth energy, the element of earth. Before I pull my runes, I would like us to focus on this symbol here. Now, as you can see, this is in the shape of an R, okay? And then you see 2 lines on each leg. So the upper area is our mental state, what's going on in our mental space, right? Our thoughts, our feelings. This is openness, a potential, okay? And then we have our legs. So automatically for me, what I pick up from this symbol is rooted, to be rooted into whatever you desire to manifest this year and beyond. And the importance of knowing how important it is to be anchored in whatever you are manifesting, to be active in thought, to be active in or to be active mentally, to be active emotionally, to be active physically, in whatever you choose to manifest. Now, all beings, all humans, all living things have what they call electromagnetic field. I call it an energy vortex. It is a portal. It is an orb, okay, that we all carry within us, whether we're conscious or unconscious of it. We have it, and it's easily influenced by our external realities, as far as thoughts, feelings, emotions, things that are done to us, things that we do to other people. We're all always blending in with each other on a very powerful, energetic way that most individuals are unaware of, but people are waking up to it. And so here the 2 anchors are symbolic for the importance of being anchored within you, and especially for this year at the beginning of 2021. It's incredibly important to be anchored in whatever that you choose to manifest. I know I said that, but it's incredibly important. We are actively creating our path. We're not just taking a path, now we're choosing to create it. We have the power to choose to create our own road, if you will. Something is just coming to me at this moment where we also need to be aware as a collective the weight of the anchors. Yes, it's important to be anchored in whatever you do, but also to be light, to have a light foot as well. You know, sometimes you have to run, right? Sometimes you have to vacate the premises. You have to avoid certain energies. Sometimes you do have to stand your ground and stand rooted in what your beliefs are and what your values and what your principles are. A really big theme for me that I've been going through the past week or so is minimalism. Now, minimalism has always been a part of my path ever since I was probably about 13 or 14 years old. I always wanted to have, when I would have my own room and own space, I always wanted to have the least amount of belongings and physical objects in my space. And believe me, as I got older and, you know, I had numerous jobs and whatnot, I had the ability to purchase my own things and to purchase things that I lusted after and that I wanted and experiences that I wanted. I went above and beyond. I got every little thing, every piece of jewelry, I was kind of a shopaholic. It was more emotional than anything, but still I had that nagging voice in me that says, you don't need this. You don't need this. You don't need this. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. And now, after about 5 or 6 years, I've come to the realization that the practice of minimalism is a spiritual practice. It's a philosophy, right? When we minimalize our physical possessions, we become even more grounded within ourselves. We become more centered with our purpose. We become more centered with our way of thinking. We become more centered with our reasons why we're living the way we're living. I find that I become ungrounded when I spend money frivolously. I don't think, or I don't go through things with a fine-tooth comb. I find that I become very uncentered, and then I have shopper's guilt where after you buy or purchase something, you automatically feel guilty about it. You give it away, you donate, you feel bad, right? And now, okay, for example, I'll give you a little story. So as a child, I was extremely sensitive and to everything, and I can't say I had a sad childhood, but my perspective of the world was incredibly dark and dull and very sad. And so my way of expressing myself, when at around the age of 9 or 10, I began to write in journals. And I kept the journals from the age of 10 to about 29. So almost 20 years, I've kept documents of my everyday life, of a young, Muslim American girl growing up, in Western culture. I kept all of these entries of all the things, traumatic things that happened to me, all of my successes, and I would carry over time. It was turning into like a mini library. I had a huge amount of books that were my journals. Anywhere I would move, they would come with me, even when I went over seas for a long period of time, or for a period of time, and I kept a journal then. And when I came back to the U.S., I had that huge stack waiting for me. And it was maybe about a year ago, after doing some energy work on myself, I finally let 20 years of experiences go that I physically kept with me. And I let it go. I no longer needed it. So all that saying, when it comes to being rooted within yourself and centered within yourself, ask yourself, what can you release? What can you let go? What can you let go? I also find that, and again, I'll mention this again because it's super important. I just feel I have to reiterate this. When you feel ungrounded, something is, usually it's something within our field that's distracting us. And we're running around like a chicken with its head cut off, just kind of like figuring out, why am I feeling this way? Why am I feeling this way? So we enter into these unhealthy cycles of trying to figure out what's going on. And then we distract ourselves. We buy foods we shouldn't buy. We go out of ourselves. We externalize our power. But when you become centered within you, you internalize. Now I'm going to briefly speak about what I call the energy vortex. Of the energy vortex, or the electromagnetic field that we have, that is, I mean, you can't physically see it. Some people can, but you can't physically see it with the naked eye. Most people can't. I know from time to time I can get like a glimpse of it, not all the time, but that's one of the most powerful gifts anyone could have, is the ability to see that. But this is the time to, if you desire to manifest, okay, to actively create your reality, this is the time to activate your energy vortex. Again, the energy vortex is your mental body, emotional body, physical body. When it comes to manifestation, you cannot do without one. You have to have all three fully activated and engaged. Observe your thought patterns, observe your emotional state, and observe the actions that you're taking to manifest this, whatever experience that you desire to have. Now I can go into exercises on how to activate your energy vortex for another video, but it's incredibly important to recognize because here's the thing, the pattern of, for the new year, this is my goal, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this, new diet, new this, new relationship, no relationship, new job, creating a business, all these things, they're great. But one of the huge blocks that people run into is that they haven't fully engaged their thought pattern. They haven't fully engaged their subconscious mind into their manifestation. Or they have a very powerful subconscious mind, very powerful. Their thoughts, their mental states completely engaged into what they're trying to manifest, but they're not taking any physical action towards it. Or their emotional state is fully engaged. They feel this desire, this magnetic pull to do, but their thinking isn't their thinking power, their mental state isn't organizing the idea. Their mental power is going somewhere else. Their physical power is going somewhere else, or it's not activated. So I ask you to, whatever seed you want to plant right now in this earth energy that we're in, keep the goal achievable, simple, and to the point. Engage your thinking. Make sure that the ideas that you have, you write them out in detail. In detail. Incredible detail. Your emotional state. Make sure that your heart is engaged in this experience that you desire to have. Make sure you're really present, how it feels to have this thing. And most importantly, take action, however small, take action. And that is what I'm getting out of this. So before I pull runes from my little bag over there, So I also read my runes upside down. And the reason why I feel so deeply that this is connected to the earth energy is that if you really look at this, you can see a bunny, right? You can see bunny ears. You can see these two antennas, and you can see the head of this animal. Now, animals to me are incredibly intuitive. They're incredibly telepathic. They have a different way of connecting with the earth. Okay, we connect with our earth through our five senses. Most people do, not all. Some people, they have a wider and more expanded perception of reality, so they could tap into the non-physical. But animals have this. Animals sense things before they happen. They sense when a storm is coming, and they sense when danger is near. They sense when an earthquake is coming. They're very, very, very sensitive beings. They're intuitive. And as human beings, if we can tune in within ourselves, we'll be able to tune into their energy as well and pick up on what they're communicating. So, anywho, the importance of being rooted within whatever you're trying to manifest is so that you have that connection with source. Because a lot of the time when we're trying to manifest something, sometimes some of us can be so incredibly focused on the very thing that we're trying to manifest, whether it's an experience, material, relationship, money, opportunities, whatever it may be, that we forget that there's something greater within us, that we have to follow our intuitive power as well. We have to honor this part of our nature. When we're all about manifesting material things, it can be very one-sided and very egoic. However, if we expand beyond ego and we tune into the greater power that's within us and all around us, we're more in alignment. So the most important thing is to be in alignment with whatever you desire to manifest into your reality. Be sure that because whatever you ask for, you shall receive it. And it may not be how you asked for it. It may be in a completely different form. But be clear in your heart, in your mind and body that this is something that you truly are in alignment with. Because if not, if it's just very egoic, you're not, we've all asked for things like, oh gosh, I want this job, and you get the job, and it's like, oh gosh, I'm so unhappy. And it turns into a lesson rather than the experience that you desired, because your energy vortex wasn't in alignment. It wasn't fully activated. A lot of the time when we are asking for something, we think it's a lot of time it's ego. It's ego. Sometimes I look at manifestation as, you're putting pieces of the puzzle together that's going to create a beautiful picture. And, sometimes we get so focused on one piece of the puzzle that we completely obliterate the whole puzzle, the bigger picture. Sometimes we focus so much on manifesting the bigger picture that we miss that very critical and crucial piece of a puzzle piece. And so that's why it's just being mindful of activating, being in alignment of your intuition. These antennas reach out. Anything we put out into the universe or to source comes right back in, and we receive it, and it grounds itself into our reality. So that's, I think, one of the most important things I can share with you on that. This is a wonderful time for long-term planning, financial planning, finances, and obviously this is it's it's very synchronistic because we're in Capricorn and then we're also in the Earth energy. It's January. Taxes are going to be due soon. So from January, February, March, like this is a perfect time to focus on finances, starting your business. I like to call my business a service because it's serving other people. But this is the time. This is definitely the time to plant your financial seeds, to go through things. Don't rush through. And that's another thing about this symbol. Don't rush through the details. Be anchored in what you're doing. Personally, I'm starting a business, and it's called Silver Tree Sound Therapy LLC. I'm a musician, and my passion is to create music to help heal the physical and mental body and emotional bodies of human beings. So it's I'm learning quite a lot, and if you have to hire a lawyer to help you through copyright issues or trademark issues, if you have to hire an advertiser, you have to hire a business manager, do what you need to do, invest in what you need to invest. This is long-term energy that we're in right now. This is not, just for the year. No, this is for the next 5, 10, 15 years that, this is a good time to sit down and go through in detail what you see for yourself and what you desire to experience. Also, a couple of notes before I pull the runes. So, do what gives value to your life. Commit to what gives value to your life. If a job is draining you, and that's not giving you, if anything is depleting you of your energy on a consistent basis, then you need to let it go. You need to let it go. I've been in situations, in relationships, and in my professional life where I would just give until I was completely depleted. Maybe it's because I'm an INFJ, or I'm according to that personality system, or maybe it's because I'm a projector according to Human Design. I'm not sure, but I know that, and I can say this from personal experience, do what gives value to you. Know your worth, know your value. Given that we're in the earth energy, think of the crystals and that are mined, right? And then they're given value. They're given they put a price tag, right, on a very special, rare gem. Like, think of your life, of the seeds that you want to plant right now as special gems. And if people can't respect that and they don't see the value in that, get them out of your life. Get them off your path, okay? Also, second point or second thing I want to share, focus on what you desire to experience. Focus on what you desire to experience. I've said that several times so far in this video. A lot is going on in the world right now, obviously. A lot of political things, social, cultural, financial, health-wise, wealth-wise, a lot of things. There are people right now that are going through absolute hell, and there are people who are going through absolute bliss. There are people who are experiencing both simultaneously. But needless to say, when you focus on what you desire to experience, again, it ties into this energy. Look at here. Think of like your thoughts go out. These are ears, right? You hear things, right? You hear, our ears receive information, okay? And so pay attention to that as well. Because when you're focusing on creating an experience that you want to manifest, we're sponges, we take in all this information, and sometimes our filters are just completely deactivated, depleted, wounded. So be very cautious as to what you're allowing into your energy vortex at this time. That means, yes, social media. That means, yes, politics. Okay? That means all of the health and corona, all that stuff. Yes, I said the C word. But be mindful. YouTube, like all these things we just take in. And all the things that we consume us. So be very mindful of that. Okay, so to wrap up the reading, I am going to pull let's see. I don't know how many I should pull. I'm getting 4. Okay, I'm going to pull 4 runes. Okay, what will help the human collective? What represents the human collective? I'm going to pull one more. Okay. So the first one that's right side up is the magnet. As you can see there, that magnet. That's funny. We've been talking about the electromagnetic field or energy vortex right there. Again, decisions. Decisions must be made. You can see there. The square, foundation. Foundation. Or block. Be careful not to block yourself. And don't let people block you. What? Oh my gosh, look at that. That's the rune. That's the rune that we're working with today on the piece of paper. That's so funny. Wow. Look at that. So, okay, these are the 4 runes here. So I'm seeing magnetic power, building your foundation, and choosing your reality. I'm gonna, at first I was like, oh, this is choices, but this is choosing the reality and walking through that door. On each side there, okay, so it's Roman numeral 2, but I see a doorway. There's the sun, there's the moon, there's the consciousness, and then there's subconscious mind. So, it's that's interesting. I have to think about that for a little bit. But that is so I think that's funny. But again, earth, foundation, the square, right? In 2020, guess what, guys? This square was a block. We felt claustrophobic. We felt cut off. We felt limited, right? But again, if you widen your perspective and you can see the shadow and the light aspects of things, the light and the dark, and the light on more positive perspective, this could be a block to build your dream, right? It's much harder to build if this was cut into a shape of a circle, right? Circle's very important. That circle energy is very important, but this is a square. And I know that we're in the year 5, which, you know what? I'm going to pull one more rune. The breaking of a cycle. Breaking of a cycle and creating your path. Creating your path. Being rooted in your path. Using resources because the square is also resources, a block, resource. Focusing on magnetizing your emotions and your thoughts, right? Amplify, pull in what you desire, focus in on what you desire, pull that in, pull that energy in. But also know that you have, again, choices to make. 2021 is the year. It is the year. Okay? So there is that. I really find this, like, it's very confirming that this came up. And again, like, I didn't look at what I was pulling. I just pulled randomly. And that's exactly what we have on this sheet of paper. So that's very confirming for me. I hope that this rune reading find you well. And, I'm learning as I go. I just feel called to do this and to express and to explore this aspect of my own spirituality through sharing my spirituality with other people. I've always kept it very secret and hidden, and I think, especially in the year of 5, this year is the time of expression and of discovering your joy, being rooted within yourself, being rooted with your goals. It's great to have a list of things you want to accomplish, you want to experience, but be rooted and anchored in them, because the winds that are coming, that wind energy is going, for me, my wind season starts in April, and that wind energy may be a bit strong. So be rooted and anchored within yourself. Also, let things go. So let the material go. Let things that don't serve you go. This is the season to do that if you didn't do it in 2020. So that's all that I have to share with you. Please check out my second channel. It's SLVRTR. And right now it's just labeled after my name, In Our Silver Tree, but that is my music channel. I create sound healing videos, live music videos. My music is experimental. And yes, so thank you so much for sharing. May you have a wonderful new moon. May you take advantage of this new moon portal. I find that this new moon energy is very clearing. It's very simple, very slightly reserved and quiet. And I just find myself being able to slow down and not rush, I'm slowing down and I'm going through things, in fine detail. And so I'm so happy if you have made it through this whole message. And thank you so much for listening. And may you continue to expand your consciousness, evolve your human being, and embrace supreme loving guidance. Thank you.